What's up, what's up, what's up? Dundas here, day 341. Okay, at the gym, cameraman is in play, he's improving, and he's going to master it by the end of this year. So thank you so much, Mr. Cameraman. Much respect. Cheers, bro. Okay, at the gym, doing pull-ups, maximizing my effort as I promised. I also did some bent over rows as I promised. I don't know if I promised, but I told you about them anyways. And I did a whole pile of different exercises. Check it out. Hopefully it's interesting for you. If you've got any questions or queries about it, just ask away. More than happy to answer them. I'm going to talk a little bit about being unwell in hospital and what would potentially do for you. So listen in. All right, so I want to just talk about very sensitive topic and subject at the moment, but I'm going to talk about it anyways. Okay, you know that I'm an ED nurse, and fortunately that in the ED I work at, we haven't seen COVID cases, in its most severe form. We live in a state of South Australia where we haven't had too many COVID cases. Because A, our population isn't as dense as Sydney or Melbourne, and B, we've been ridiculously strict with our restrictions and the way we've controlled, the way we've sort of tracked cases and followed up on patients and people. So we've been very fortunate. Our borders have been closed for quite some time, and they're opening today. They've opened now. So I just want to quickly take you through an overview of what would happen if you go to hospital with significant respiratory distress, and you were to come to hospital with your loved ones or via ambulance, whatever. It might not be in my hospital, it may be another hospital, but in general. Okay, so you come in, you're short of breath, you're breathing really fast. You're breathing, 45 breaths per minute. Consider try breathe 45 breaths per minute, and you'll see what I mean. It's quite exhausting, especially if you've been doing it for multiple hours. So you're unwell, you've got a massive fever, so you got a temperature of 40, your rest rate's 40, your heart rate's sitting at 150, and you're looking like shit. If this continues, your organs are going to start failing on you. Your lungs might start filling up with fluid, and you're going to get really unwell. So, anyways, most of the times, well, I don't know what most of the times happens. Okay, that's just overview. May or may not happen. But let's just say that you're breathing fast, your temperature's up, your heart rate's up, and you come into hospital. And we cannot control your heart rate and your respiratory rate, and you are looking shit. What are we going to do for you? There's a couple of things that we may do for you. Put you on a non-invasive ventilation, which is something called BiPAP or CPAP. Though, if we do that, there's a risk of increasing the risk of spreading the COVID virus. So the better option would be to intubate you by essentially putting a breathing tube down your throat and allowing us to essentially breathe for you, and having either a machine or our trusty hands holding your life in our hands or our machine. We will do the best that we possibly can. Vaxxed, unvaxxed, doesn't matter who you are. If you're a prisoner, if you're a bad person, a patient is a patient, and we are there to look after life, and we are there to try and preserve life to our best ability, no matter who or what you are. So for those who are anti-vax, we'll still look after you, but just please consider, the vaccine if you can. You're set in your mind. I'm not going to talk you out of it. So once we've got a breathing tube into your mouth, hopefully we're able to stabilize you as much as possible, where you essentially don't crash and go into cardiac arrest essentially. If you do go into a cardiac arrest, we will need to jump onto your chest and compress your chest to allow us to do compressions to your heart to essentially pump your heart. Hoping that we get through that process, we will then stabilize you, get you to our intensive care unit, where you'll be in an isolated room. You will not have visitors of friends or family. This is inclusive of mothers, fathers, girlfriends, wives, children, etc. The only people you'll see who will be your bestest buddies for the next whatever days or weeks will be nurses and doctors. That's it. We will isolate you from everyone else to ensure that you and everyone else is safe. That's essentially the crips of COVID. I have some loved ones myself who has made it through COVID, and another one who unfortunately has passed away. RIP, uncle. It's, yeah, I don't really want to talk about it too much because I might cry or something. So my cousin got through. He was intubated. He did have his vaccine. That may have only been a single dose, but he got through after being intubated, and the virus essentially eradicated itself, and he was okay after that. But yes, very, very lucky that he at least had his first vaccine. Otherwise, he would have been in a pretty shitty state. So that's all for now, guys. Peace out.